The first thing you notice is how clean everything feels. Smooth walls, simple colors, nothing out of place. The room looks finished, like it has been checked many times before you arrived. Logos are everywhere, but they don't shout. They repeat. On the wall, on the screen, on the booklets stacked near the entrance. Same color, same shape, same message. You don't have to read them. You already know what they are saying. The chairs are identical, aligned perfectly. No gaps, no confusion. You can sit anywhere and feel like you are in the right place. Nothing feels personal. Nothing feels strange. Music plays softly even when no one is speaking. It fills silence so silence never becomes uncomfortable. The sound feels familiar even if you've never heard it before, like something designed to be trusted. People move easily through the space. They don't look around much. They don't hesitate. They know where to go, where to sit, when to stand, when to wait. The room guides behavior without instructions. The stage is clean and polished. The lighting is warm and balanced, not dramatic, not cold. It feels safe, like a place meant to welcome everyone in the same way. Nothing here asks hard questions. Everything feels friendly, supportive, clear. The message is simple. You belong here. You don't need to think too much. You don't need to figure things out on your own. You notice how consistent it all is. The words, the colors, the tone. Even the smiles feel practiced, but not forced. Familiar, comfortable. This place does not feel like a space for doubt. Doubt would feel awkward here, like wearing the wrong clothes, like speaking too loudly. Everything works together. The design, the sound, the message, the people. It feels less like a gathering and more like a system built to repeat itself. Nothing feels hidden, and yet nothing invites inspection. The room does not ask you to look closer, it asks you to relax. Before anything is said, before any belief is explained, the brand has already done its work. It makes everything feel simple, familiar, safe. And when something feels safe, people stop checking how it was built. This is where Carl Jung would slow down and look beneath the surface, not at the message, but at the shape it takes. Jung believed people wear personas, not to lie, but to function. A persona helps someone fit in. It helps them feel safe. It helps them know how to act. In a space like this, the brand becomes a shared persona. The brand tells people who they are here, how to speak, how to feel, what words to use, what emotions are welcome. It smooths out differences. It removes friction. You don't have to bring your whole self. You only bring the part that fits. This feels comforting. When the persona is clear, people relax. They stop worrying about being wrong. They stop wondering if they belong. The brand answers that question before it is asked. Jung would notice how people begin to mirror the brand. They repeat its phrases. They adopt its tone. Even their doubts sound approved. Nothing feels sharp. Nothing feels raw. Behind this, other parts stay quiet. Confusion, conflict, mixed feelings. Those parts don't disappear. They just don't have a place to speak. The persona leaves them outside the room. The brand does not force this. It invites it. It offers a ready-made version of self, one that feels confident, positive, aligned. People step into it willingly. Jung warned that personas become dangerous when people forget they are wearing them, when the role feels like the whole self, when stepping outside it feels risky. Here, the brand protects people from that risk. It offers clear edges, clear language, clear identity. You are either inside the tone or outside it. This is not manipulation, it is relief. Many people want fewer choices, fewer questions. The brand carries that weight. Jung would not criticize this space. He would simply observe what it costs. When the persona is shared by everyone, individuality fades quietly, not erased, just softened. The brand smiles for you, speaks for you, believes for you. And when belief wears a familiar face, people stop asking whose face it was first. Once the brand settles in, everything begins to feel right. This is where Friedrich Nietzsche would pay attention, not to what is said, but to how certain it sounds. The brand speaks in calm sentences, clear values, simple rules. Words like good, healthy, true, and right appear often. They are not argued, they are assumed. The tone suggests that these ideas have already been agreed on. Nietzsche watched how morality changes when it becomes comfortable. When it feels familiar, it stops feeling chosen. It starts feeling obvious. People don't defend it, they live inside it. Here, morality is clean. There is no struggle in it, no tension. You know where you stand, you know what side you're on. That certainty feels relieving. It removes doubt before doubt can form. The brand helps with this. It repeats the same ideas in the same way. Over time, repetition turns into truth. Not because the ideas were tested, but because they were consistent. Nietzsche would notice how morality becomes a kind of background music, always present, rarely noticed. It guides behavior quietly. People learn what is praised and what is ignored. Questioning begins to feel unnecessary. If something works, if it feels good, if everyone agrees, why slow it down? Doubt starts to sound negative. Curiosity starts to sound disruptive. The brand does not say, "This is right." It says, "This is who we are." That is stronger. When morality becomes identity, leaving it feels like leaving yourself. Nietzsche warned about this kind of certainty, not because it is evil, but because it is smooth. Smooth morality does not invite inspection. It does not need enemies. It only needs repetition. People inside the brand feel moral without effort. They feel aligned. They feel approved. That approval replaces reflection. No one is told to stop thinking. They simply stop needing to. Nietzsche would not accuse this space of lying. He would observe how easily morality turns into comfort, how quickly values become habits, how belief becomes something you wear instead of something you examine. And once morality feels like home, questioning it feels like betrayal. So people stay, they agree, and they feel right. At this point, the brand no longer needs to speak loudly. This is where Niccolò Machiavelli would stop listening and start watching results. Power here does not look aggressive, it looks organized. Clear paths, clear roles, clear rewards. People know what to do without being told. They follow the flow because the flow feels easy. The brand decides what matters, what gets attention, what gets repeated. Over time, this shapes behavior. People give time, they give energy, they give loyalty. Not because they are forced, but because the system makes it feel natural. Machiavelli believed power works best when it does not feel like power, when rules feel like culture, when obedience feels like choice. The brand does this quietly. It turns direction into design. You can see who benefits by watching who becomes visible. Some voices are lifted, some stories are shared again and again. Others fade without conflict, not banned, just ignored. The brand also protects itself. It sets the tone. If someone questions too much, they feel out of place, not punished, just uncomfortable. Power rarely needs to push. It only needs to stop responding. Machiavelli would notice how the brand scales trust. One message reaches many people in the same way. This creates alignment. Alignment creates predictability. Predictability creates control. There is efficiency in this. The system runs smoothly. Decisions feel easier. The brand does the thinking so people don't have to. Power also becomes invisible here. People don't say, "I follow this brand." They say, "This is normal." That is the moment power settles in. Machiavelli would not judge this as good or bad. He would ask one question: does it work? And clearly, it does. The brand keeps growing. More people recognize it, more people trust it, more people build their lives around it. Power expands without conflict, and because it feels familiar, few people notice when influence replaces choice. The brand doesn't ask for control. It already has it. By the time the brand is fully formed, belief moves easily through it. This is where Napoleon Hill would lean in. He spent his life watching how belief spreads when it feels practical, repeatable, and safe. Hill believed belief grows through feeling and repetition. When an idea is heard often, delivered clearly, and wrapped in confidence, it starts to feel reliable. The brand helps with this. It keeps belief simple. It removes friction. It tells people what to expect. Belief here does not arrive as a challenge. It arrives as reassurance. You don't have to struggle with it. You don't have to wrestle with doubt. The brand has already shaped the path. You only need to walk it. Hill would notice how belief becomes stronger when it is shared by many. Seeing others repeat the same words, wear the same symbols, and move in the same direction makes belief feel solid. It feels tested, even when it hasn't been questioned. The brand gives belief a form people can return to. The same message, the same tone, the same promise. Over time, belief stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like part of life. Hill focused on results, not intention, not meaning. He asked whether belief moves people to act, and here, belief clearly does. People invest time, attention, money, identity. They align their habits with the brand because it feels productive. Belief also protects itself this way. When belief works, people don't want to disturb it. They don't ask what belief requires in return. They focus on what it provides: comfort, direction, belonging. The brand makes belief portable. You can carry it anywhere, wear it, share it, repeat it. That makes belief easier to spread than doubt. Hill rarely warned about belief. He admired its power. What he didn't linger on is how belief, once organized, rarely asks to be examined again. Belief does not disappear when it becomes a brand. It becomes smoother, quieter, more efficient. And when belief feels efficient, people stop asking what belief is working for. Until the next observation.